The voice of Fox Soccer, Alexi Lalas. Women's World Cup this summer. Tonight, the semifinals, CONCACAF. It is Panama, USA. We have crushed them most of my life. There was a recent loss in memory that still stings. Coverage tonight, 7 Eastern on FS1. So I was telling J-Mac, I don't remember a time in my life. There'd be players. There'd be Dempsey, you, Donovan. There'd be a goalie. There'd be individual players. I never thought we had a lot of depth. I see our speed. This is a second team unit. Speed, depth of scoring, skill. Are my eyes deceiving me? My father was an optometrist. I've got strong eyes. This looks like a deep, swift, skillful unit.
Well, trust your eyes, and this is a good thing. I don't know how you spin it into anything but a good thing. To your point, put a name, attach a letter to it, A, B, C team, whatever you want. This is the United States men's national team. This is representing the United States, and this is a group of players, to your point. Many of them, because of the way the schedule works, are players from MLS. Many of them are less experienced and younger, and yet there is still the expectation that they defend the championship, defend this title when it comes to the Gold Cup. They had a really fun and entertaining game against Canada to get to this point. Now they got to take care of Panama. They get through that. They get to go to the final and play potentially Mexico in the final. But to your point, this is creating depth. And this is all about 2026 and the World Cup that's coming. And so the ability to have players not only that are getting the experience playing for the national team, but in a tournament setting, I think it's incredibly valuable. And there will be players that you are watching in this tournament that do matriculate or continue on with the full national team.
So when I heard that Christian Pulisic, who's not in this, shouldn't be, they're building depth. He doesn't need to be here. He would be the best player in the CONCACAF if he was here. He is now transferring from Chelsea to AC Milan.
AC Milan,
now,
it's official.
It's not as physical as the English Premier League. So to me, I looked at it. He won't get banged up. It'll be less physical. He'll probably be more productive. I see it as a win-win. How do you view it?
Well, he's going to, one of the storied clubs in the world, and this is we're in the midst of kind of a renaissance of Italian soccer in Serie A, and that's a good thing because he's going to a place where there's a whole lot more attention. To your point, the style of game I think really suits him. I think he's coming in not just as a nice to have, but as a player that they want to start. The big question always with Christian is, can he stay healthy? Because if he does, and if he is healthy, I think he can get a consistent amount of games and really be an influential player for AC Milan and in that Italian country and culture. And it's a wonderful new experience. Now he's gone from Germany to England and now Italy, playing for some very, very big clubs.
And we have multiple players. Gio Reyna, again, an elite player for us. He's not going to play in this CONCACAF. As you said, this is sort of a way for our young players to get in this region. We can win a lot of these matchups without our top guys. Our top guys are overseas. The Gio Reyna situation, a dad involved, Greg Berhalter involved. Where are we now? He's on the beach probably waiting to go back to
Borussia Dortmund in Germany for now, unless a transfer were to happen. But like him, a lot of players that play in Europe have the summer off, and so there are these two tournaments. There's only a couple of holdovers, including, by the way, Matt Turner, who has continued on from the Nations League. He's awesome. He's just a wonderful goalkeeper, wonderful person, and just an incredible representative of what I feel is the greatest country in the world. And to have him in goal. When it comes to Gio Reyna and others, look, there are going to be games, and as I said, this is about 2026, and that whole drama and ridiculousness off the field. You can't just forget about it. And Greg Berhalter, when he does come back, he's been the name of the head coach. When he does come back to the team, is going to have to deal with that behind the scenes and make sure that he is getting the best out of all players and kind of figure out and have a come to Jesus type of moment where he talks with Gio Reyna and figures out how that relationship and that dynamic works going forward.
Well, basketball and international soccer is very star driven. There are no great teams without great drama. It literally, I'm sure you could go to some Swiss team. They're neutral. They all like each other. But mostly if you go to Italy and France and America, we have had these dramas in basketball and soccer because they're star-driven, and it's okay.
Hey, it keeps us employed, let's be honest, okay? I mean, it's incredible content generation, and we talk about it, and it is as interesting and titillating, to your point, as what happens on the field. But this is what sports are, and this is what sports entertainment is. And the stories of the players and the stories of the players behind the scenes are as important and as interesting as anything else.
Okay, Messi goes to Miami.
Yep.
They've not been a good club. We know that. But he is... when guys come over here, they're well compensated. They usually are past their peak. How close to his peak is he?
I mean, 6 months ago, he won a World Cup, so he's not too shabby. The interesting thing that I see is, what is Messi going to look like in the context of a league that has manufactured parity, in the context of a team that is not the greatest? That's all he has played for, is the best teams in the best leagues in the world.
And you say manufactured parity because our leagues either salary caps,
single entity, all of that. It's not. So he's playing for Miami, but Miami isn't, by the way, even within that parity, Miami is a bad team. So how is he going to look playing for this team? Now, they're going to do everything and move hell and high water to try to give him the players around him to make him good right now. But it's really going to be interesting. This is arguably the greatest player ever to play the game, who is going to, not just a mediocre, but right now a poor team in terms of Inter Miami.
I like how you say that. We manufacture parity. We try to do it in our sports, but the truth is, globally, the greatest players win the most games and the most championships.
But there's a disparity, too. You have the haves and the have-nots, the super clubs, and then everybody else
in soccer,
around the world.
Yeah, I mean, you go to the English Premier League, French League. You go
it's just a different way of doing things. Yep.
Okay, German league's got two clubs that have dominated almost for 100 years.
Some people dig that. I like the parity.
Okay.
I like that when I wake up and I'm a fan of an MLS team, I could have been the worst team last year, but the potential there for me, the champion, exists when I wake up and that new season arrives.
Okay, Women's World Cup kicks off July 21st. Megan Rapinoe just retired. Legacy all-time in women's soccer. I view Mia Hamm as here. Everybody else levels below, but she culturally was different. I don't know if she's a top 10 player, but she felt to me big.
Megan Rapinoe has transcended the game. She is bigger than the sport of soccer. And while, from the opinions and the stances, sometimes the literal stances that she has, I fundamentally disagree with, as a player, I want her on the field because she is a badass. She is fearless in the things that she does and says off the field. And on the field, for a number of years, she has continued to deliver, and she has won. The platform that she has come from soccer, and I will fight to my dying breath for her to have the freedom to be able to express these opinions, even though I don't necessarily agree with all of them. When it comes to ranking her as to where she stands, she's going to go into this World Cup with this national team. By the way, U.S. women's national team trying for an unprecedented third World Cup in a row.
Hard.
Never been done, men's or women's.
Never been done.
But she's going to be in a substitute capacity, and so a limited type of role. But there will be moments where I think she can come on and have magic, because with the ball at her feet, she is better than anybody the U.S. has.
She's got a little Clint Dempsey.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got some dog in her. Absolutely.
A little toughness.
Yep. She's definitely tough. It'll just be interesting to see when and how she is ultimately used in this moment with Vlatko Andonovski, the head coach. When is it right for her to come on the field? Because if it's a track meet or if there's space, that's not her game, and she will get exposed. But if the U.S. has the ball and is looking for a moment of magic, she can come on.
That's very much Clint Dempsey at the end.
And she can be that hero. And look, she's always going to bring criticism, and people are going to have their say as to her when it comes to her opinions and who she is as a person. But when it comes to her actual playing ability, she's right up there. I will say that if I had two lists, to your point about Mia Hamm, I think Mia Hamm would be at the top when it comes to both the soccer and the transcending the game. Yeah. When it comes to soccer, I'm not sure where Megan would be like in my top 5, but I know that she would certainly be in the most influential when it comes to the things that she has done. And like I said, how she has transcended the sport.
Give me one name the next couple of years for a casual with our United States men's national team. One name. We know Weston McKennie. We know Pulisic. Sure. We know Gio Reyna. Matt Turner's now a guy. Give me a name.
All right, so for the women, Trinity Rodman, you might recognize that name. So she might be a big star come this summer, as will Sophia Smith. When it comes for the men, Brandon Vasquez, we have seen him come on the field here in this Gold Cup in a substitute capacity. Like to see him start.
Now was not
big.
On the men's national team.
No, he was not called into the World Cup, so he's getting his moment right now. He is a much more traditional type of 9 striker, and this is desperation time for the U.S. Flo Balogun, I know a lot of people are going to talk to him because he has come on the scene, and he's got an incredible pedigree scoring over in Europe, but still only a couple games with the U.S.
How old is he?
Very young. These are like early 20 types of guys.
He's the guy J-Mac is all fired up about.
Yeah, and you should be.
We've had so many forwards that we've thought would be the guy. Josie Altidore. Now we have like a glut. I mean, I like Pepe a lot. I know you like it. Jesus Ferreira's on fire right now. We've got so many forwards. It's almost like, an embarrassment of riches. Can we say that about U.S. soccer?
I don't know if the riches yet have gone and been, been looked at to justify whether they actually are riches. It could be, cubic zirconia or whatever the hell it is. But right now they look pretty.
Yeah.
Right now they look like diamonds. We just hope that once they are authenticated that they continue to give us what we need.
CONCACAF Gold Cup semifinal, USA Panama tonight, 7 Eastern on FS1. He's our friend. He is always welcome on our show. My friend, good seeing you again, Alexi Lalas. It's The Herd. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.